So Horror is sort of this noise rap and punk band that is, honest to God, giving Death Grips a run of their money for their throne. They just released their debut album, United States of Horror, and honest to God, it is one of the wildest, most adrenaline-pumping albums that I've listened to this year. Horror's sound is such a modern and new visceral take on this whole industrial rap and punk sound. They really fuse a lot of these elements together seamlessly and make convincing songs that not only feel sinister and wild, but also politically aware. It's hard to pick out particular highlights on this album because there are so many highs. I think a lot of the songs are catchy, they're visceral, they really get me wanting to sort of jump up and get involved with this music. It's really an attention-grabbing record, and there's not very many weak songs that sort of allow you to kind of fall out of this mood and this sort of scene that they're painting with the current state of the United States. They have tracks that feel all the way rap-oriented like Hydraulics, and they have honest-to-God punk and metal songs like New Jersey Devil, which has a fucking breakdown in it. Like, it is honest-to-God a metal song with them yelling over top of it. Then you have songs like City Rejects, which feel like old-school punk rock tunes or hardcore tunes, and it all meshes together so seamlessly that you don't realize that they're taking so many genres and pushing them together into one cohesive sound. To call back to the song Hydraulics that I mentioned earlier, I almost feel like this song is like, if Future was as scary as he wants you to believe he is, this is what his music might sound like. A lot of their statements on religion and government and the current social status of African Americans in America are so potent and in your face that it's hard not to take them to heart. It's not a quiet album, it's not a controlled and reserved album that's calmly discussing these political topics. This is the rioter in the fucking street. I will say there are some interludes in here, like when Death Calls, that really don't, I think, add to the whole album's theme, but I think they kind of push this mood that they want, that they're dark and metal and they don't believe in God and all this stuff. But I do feel like it gets almost kind of corny. And if we're talking about some of my least favorite moments on the album, I think that the really odd nature of Black Hole, the finisher, really adds to the whole mood, but individually it's not one of my favorite songs. I think it's a little too obtuse compared to how direct they were being for the rest of the album. I think that they really wanted to go for something weird, but they're already making such weird music to start with. I didn't really think it was a necessary step further. Overall, this album is adrenaline pumping and high octane. They're bringing blunt points to a lot of the social issues that we're seeing discussed in every other album coming out today. Although these guys' take on it feels refreshing because of how aggressive and straightforward it is. They are not taking shit, and they want you to know that.